Found on the High Seas, a serialized gay romance taking place aboard the Caribbean ocean liner, the Majestic Sun. Follow along as I take everyone on a Caribbean adventure with humor, love, and of course, destruction. Penned by Riley Mason, narrated by me, Brian Shepard. Episode 3. Welcome to Montego Bay. Captain Jericho piloted the Sun into place next to the Majestic Seas. Passengers were starting to gather in the lobby, waiting for Britain to open the doors, allowing them to disembark for the day. Britain listened as each step was taken to pretty much park this thing and tie her off through his radio. With the gangway secure and security in place, Britain was radioed the all clear. The doors were open to the gangway that would allow the passengers down to the dock that would lead them to the terminal. The dock, which sat between two massive ocean liners, made passengers look like tiny people from those on deck. On his way down, Britain noticed cruise ship fanatics on the dock taking a series of photos. Because Majestic Cruises is pretty much the last cruise ship company to use older ocean liners, it tends to draw in a crowd. For some, it's totally awesome, as these ships are still around for the younger generation to appreciate. There are even passengers who have been returning to the same ship, and through every name change, they felt that with the change of time, ships began to offer more. I can only think of one passenger who would be older than the ship and who has been on it just as much. Anita Cromwell. Have a great day, guys. Enjoy that tour, Britain said as passengers walked off the gangway and onto the dock. Thank you, we will. Thanks again for mentioning this Doctor's Cove. Sounds beautiful, the woman replied and then smiled and waved to Britain. Hello, dear. How's the job going so far? Anita asked as she made her way down. Morning, Anita, and just great, thank you. Up to anything fun today before the wedding? Oh, I'm just going to wander around until then. Visit some shops, maybe find something more fitting for tonight, she answered. Well, have a good time, and I'll see you when you return, Britain said as he started to make his way back onto the ship. His shift became boring after a while. Most of the passengers were off the ship. There were only a few calls down to the lobby, yet most were for housekeeping or dining. Don't worry, everything will be okay, Britain heard and noticed Justin walking into the lobby as passengers were coming on board. He was informed by Barbara that additional guests would be arriving once they had docked, as they were attending the wedding. I know, I just worry, that's all. Things go wrong when Chance and I get together on these ships. Look what happened last time. The damn thing sank, Eric, Justin replied as he and Eric walked up to the counter. Again, babe, you'll be fine. Speaking of Chance, right on time, Eric said as Chance and Joey stepped on board. I wonder what that was all about, Britain wondered as he went back to his office now that his second shift person arrived. He would finish up his shift by watching videos, mostly for training about the area. A visit to Jamaica's tropical paradise is not complete without sinking your toes into our warm sand. A 10-minute drive will transport you to the bustling hip strip, dotted by brick and mortar businesses and sandy beaches. Doctor's Cave Beach is rated one of the best on the island, thanks to its manicured shore and translucent waters. Located some footsteps away from the public is Dead End Beach, where you can enjoy the island sun and sea while watching flights descend at the Sangster International Airport. Please click the arrow button to continue. Want to do more than just absorb the caressing sunshine and local scenery? Also along the hip strip are floating amenities of Margaritaville, which truly embrace the notion of fun in the sun. A 120-foot water slide shoots you right into the sea, where a small obstacle course awaits you. After frolicking in the water, treat yourself to a vibrant cocktail in quirky cups and a mix of comforting dishes served with a side of panoramic views. Please click the arrow to continue. Britton clicked the arrow button, like the rude narrator asked, twice now. How much longer is this video, he thought. Aqua Soul Theme Park is also along the beach and offers action-packed activities including go-karts, tennis, and, of course, water sports. See a different side of the island through island routes, harbor cruises, and tours. Underscored by Jamaican adventure, heritage, and entertainment. If you're a golf enthusiast, Montego Bay 4 Championship courses, about 20 to 30 minutes from your ship, creates the ideal Jamaican destination. Nope, no more. I will finish this tomorrow, Britton said, as he X'd out of the video. The wedding, which would take place in less than 2 hours, would be held aboard the Majestic Seas in one of the 2 dining rooms. After party and refreshments would be served poolside on deck. Why are they getting married on a ship and not somewhere on the island, you ask? Britton asked the same question as him and Riley made their way over. The Seas will be Captain Moore's new command, and from what Barbara tells me, it was Justin's idea. He thought because they met on a ship, it was only fitting they got hitched on one. Justin seemed a little worried about something earlier, mentioning a sinking ship. Oh, yeah, that. Well, again, according to Anita, the last cruise they were on didn't go as planned. Another couple was supposed to be married, yet with murder and the ship sinking, yeah, I'd be a little nervous as well. Chance is here, his best friend, so he'll be okay, Riley answered, as they made their way onto the Seas. The Seas was an amazing ship, and the dining room that was chosen for the wedding was perfect. The staff on the ship did a fantastic job putting everything together. It was easy, considering the ship would not start boarding until the sun was underway and on to her next port of call. So, with the ship being empty, staff were able to move about with ease when it came to bringing the food and cake up to the pool deck. Britton and Riley chose seats in the middle and on the left. Or were they supposed to sit on the right? Oh well, Riley thought as more guests were making their way in. Anita, Captain Webb and Chance, Captain Jericho and Ben, Eric's mother and a few other friends. Everyone was coming in, saying hello, hugging, laughing, and chit-chatting. Can you believe Mayor Shepard wouldn't take the time away to see his friend married? Anita said, talking to Chance, who sat next to her in a row in front of them. A little too loud, as it grabbed both his and Riley's attention. He's in the middle of an election, so I don't blame him, Chance replied. He told Justin he thought ship weddings were nothing but a disaster and death waiting to happen, and no thanks. He'd mail him a gift card. Good Lord, I couldn't believe it when he told me. Yet leave it to Justin to give it back, as he asked Brian if they were talking about the wedding or what would happen to someone visiting his town. I nearly died. It would have been nice to see him and Jordan. she said as her eyes scanned the room. Britton noticed that a crewman came into the dining room and headed up to the front, where Captain Jericho was seated, whispering into his ear. Britton noticed Brian's eyes widening as he was being told whatever it was, obviously nothing good, as this had him up and out of his seat and walked over to Joey, who also just listened and went wide-eyed. Both returned to their seats, so whatever it was must not have been important as Britton thought, yet it still baffled him. The wedding continued and went on as planned. There would be no dry eye in the room when it came to the part where they would read their own vows that mentioned those in the room, thanking friends and family for being part of their journey, and even thanking Anita for playing matchmaker. "Would you ever get married?" Riley asked as they made their way out into the elevators that would bring them up to the top deck. "Never really thought about it. You?" "I don't see why not. To have what they have is what I hope to have. So, yes," Riley replied. Everyone on deck, the music was playing, and by the time Britton and Riley made it, Eric and Justin were just about ready to cut the cake. "Wait!" Chance yelled, pulling out his cell phone. "I want to take a picture of the cake," he said as he snapped a few pictures. If Britton didn't know any better, he thought he was looking at a scale model of a ship. However, this one was at least 6 feet long and made entirely out of cake. The ship, at a closer look, was named Majestic Coral, the ship where he and Justin met. Cheers and applause sounded as they both cut the cake. That's when Britton noticed Joey talking to Eric. Eric, having the same reaction as everyone else, means something is wrong. But what? The sun seemed to disappear and was replaced with incoming clouds that did not look very nice. Dark and almost sinister. The news that seemed to be going around would now make its way to Riley and Britton, as Captain Jericho was making his way over to them. "The island is declaring an emergency. We need to recall our passengers. Now," Jericho said as Joey was telling Chance, which was not a good idea. And now poor Justin's worries might be coming true after all. Something bad was on the way.